Ta-da! Shaved my hair. I decided because in a few days it's going to be my birthday, and I've had my hair for 34 years without shaving. So here's to short, new beginnings. Last time we talked about a lot of things and perception and all that. So I'm just generalizing because I'm trying to remember the words, specific words. Oh yeah, if things were taken literally, but well, such is life. Um, this time round, you're going to talk about expectations, which, truth be told, it's either we give ourselves expectations or being hard on ourselves to do better in life, or give ourselves goals that sometimes we don't achieve, or goals we can achieve if you're disciplined enough, and also some expectations that you didn't expect because it was enforced on you, either by your parents, your friends, or life in general, or even, no, I'm not going to go down the lane of leadership and all that. But anyway, we all have expectations. We all want to achieve um, greatness and success in everything we do. A few will just have expectations to be happy, which is rare because the outside pressures of life, or uh, looking at time, all that factors that factor in life, that you look at the time, maybe because you're comparing yourself to others, or you have goals that you're greedy for, if lack of no other better word, because obviously everyone doesn't everyone wishes to live a better life, to live successfully, to achieve something of greatness and also growth. It's only that different circumstances divert or affect the expectations you set yourself aside for. um, for instance, I have been talking about shaving my head for a long time, but I'll be like, my ears, I have big ears, and you can see now they're popped up because of the hair used to hide them. Now they're visible. And shock to other people, there's also a friend who just told me a word of encouragement that really I didn't expect. They said I have a good head shape. I don't know. But yeah, I can see it now. Hi, Georgia. Welcome. So, what are your expectations and what pressures have you given yourself on the expectations? So, yeah. Um. Uh. Hi, Grace. Welcome. So, in that note, most parents do give us weird expectations. I remember back in the day when we used to grow up and our school system was changed, politicians and all that. Even now it has been changed, it's just crazy. Thank you, and welcome. So I remember we used to hear stories that parents enforce their dreams on their children, and since there was the option of bridging, which is still there sometimes. uh, I figured it out this year when I was looking. My mom asked me to look of bridging courses for other people, to for my sister's courses for whatever she wanted to study. And I was shocked that there are institutes that offer bridging, for particular, if you want to bridge particular subjects that are needed to further your studies. That one I could accept, but the other bridging that used to be happening, let's say a student has failed their Form 4's exam, and their parents were insistent to have a doctor in their family, or to have, mostly it was a doctor or a surgeon or a lawyer. and they will force them to bridge. I don't know if it was subjects that were being bridged, but the way it was put back then, it was uh bridging, like paying a lot to be tuitioned more in the course that you want to do, or paying for the exams. Anyway, I never did bridging, so I have no clue what used to happen. Thank you, Shadow, for that share. So that aside, and I remember the stories after the aftermath about forcing their children to do such courses. Some students will do it, but then in the workforce, you'll find them, they don't have that drive because it was forced upon them. And as we all know right now with adulting and all that, that every work, if it's not a calling, like a passion within yourself, you'll never enjoy doing that. Um, Work, maybe you'll just be doing that because, yeah, it's earning you money to survive and it's paying well. That that can be a factor why people sometimes still go to work. But there's also that point of, are you happy doing your work? Is it something that you enjoy or proud to say that that's the work you're doing? Is also a factor that people usually don't think about. And also during career choosing, uh, it's advised. I think I had the best village that brought me up, because no one forced me to do something. They just told me, look at the hobbies that you are happy doing, the hobbies that pull you in, and look for a course or career choice that has the same pull. And without even saying, it was either journalism or architecture or graphic design. Both graphic design and architecture was drawing, so, and I love drawing and putting a stamp on it, like physically. And that's where I gravitated to. And here we are, I'm talking online. Hi, Brijesh, I'm from Kenya, Nairobi to be specific. So that expectation of how even students gravitate towards the courses. I remember when you're in high school, in, was it form 3, before graduating to form 4, we were given the questionnaires to choose our careers. And our class teacher, I remember very well, talked to us and told us, don't choose because it's popular. Because most people, back then when we finished form 4, you'll find like 90% of the people are doing, it was either BCom or BIT, business information technology, or business communication, like 90%. And then the remainder 10 will find us in either, remainder 5 was actuarial science. Please tell me, where do those people work now? Because I've never met uh, here in public, outside here in the workforces, hearing somebody, I did actuarial science and this is the work I'm doing. Please, if you've done it, comment below. But anyway, I'm not discouraging you from it, but it was, I remember even my mom was trying to, like, actuarial science can do well with you. And I'm like, what is that? I didn't even understand it. And maybe some people thought the fancy name will be fancy work. Who knows? Anyway, so we did that. And after high school, for me, my mother just asked me, so now you've gotten your results. After high school, I'm getting my exam results. And we sat down and talked. Now, okay, when do you want to join college or university? And we opted for the college because she was a single parent and I was a firstborn and I had siblings behind me. And we had to look at our economy status, because she was a one woman um, parent. And um, I had to, I had to, yeah, kind of, I had to because firstborns, we have no choice. And most of us know that because you're the you spearhead how the tempo of how your siblings will go, and also time factor on don't take too long, so that at least your mom can balance how to educate each and every of her kid. And yeah, so I had to join as soon as possible, and a course that wasn't strenuous to her. I also had to consider her feelings. And for me, she told me, but I want you to do what you want. So that was a hard ball to throw. But anyway, life choices, life give you lemons. You make a lot of things. Now, um, so I told her I was torn between graphic design and architecture. And also, good thing in our family, we do have both graphic designer and also architecture, an architect who now works as a contractor, but did the architectural course and still in the line of work decided to become a full-on contractor. So I had advices from my architect. I call him brother. He's my older brother. But from another, no, from my father, from my uncle. And the graphic design was not even here in Kenya. He's in the US. He only came back. I saw him like 2 years ago when my aunt passed on, his mom. So we didn't even talk because, time of sorrows, it's not that uplifting. But anyway, I have seen his works for advertisements in Kenya. So I was also gravitated towards that, seeing that, oh yeah, that's somebody I have known who created such thing. So also that swayed me. I was like, okay. So my mom also, at least we have an aunt who was in the college that I attended. Um, she called her, told her the calendrum of choosing which course I wanted to do. But for me, I was lucky because of that resource, and also a parent who had a little understanding of what their child wanted and what didn't push the ideas on. That's For that I'm super grateful. Later on in life, that's when my mom opens up and said, actually, you've fulfilled one of my, actually two of her dreams. One is to study from the college she wanted to study from when she finished her Form 4s. And the second is to enter the industry of building industry. She wanted to be an engineer. But here's the thing, she never told us that. So later on, but she's a good drawer. She also likes drawing, and I realize in our family we are artistic a lot. We used to have mini concerts when we used to gather around back in the day when I was the only grandchild. I had fun. But anyway, first grandchild, first granddaughter, first daughter, first born, first cousin. Yeah, that's a lot of weight on my shoulders. But anyway, so that expectation of the family looking up to see if you were or way away from the focus, and until you have the don't care mindset, it can really weigh you down, because you not live for yourself, you live for other people's expectations of you. without you being having the freedom of being yourself. So self-acceptance is a lot. And also the expectation on you, you don't want to disappoint anyone. It's a lot, but we are not perfect. We disappoint everyone each and every day, different times, different ways, and we still survive and move on. So it should not put a lot of pressure on you, but it does naturally, because what goes in our minds can really, if especially when you're an overthinker, can really make you overthink the thoughts, and the pressure might build up and put you down or make you crazy somehow. But hey, as I said, less pressure on you makes you a happy chap. And surviving also is important, because know how to maneuver the extra pressures from families, from friends. Ooh, child, I'll tell you this. If a friend gives you pressure to make your life standardized, that's not a friend. They should be a listening ear, a friend, a supportive, and also a criticizing friend. There's a difference between putting pressure on you and criticizing you, positive, not positive, just criticizing you to make you better. And what someone told me, that having more than 5 friends, that's a lie. You're lying to yourself. And I actually sat down and thought about it, like really thought about it, because if and asked myself, if I had trouble, how many friends would I call in a jiffy and they will be there with no question asked? And I was surprised. Actually, I don't have more than 5 friends. I have 5 who I can say these ones are my sisters, besides my sister. Um, these ones are the ones I know anytime or any day or any hour. Um, I can call and rant, and they'll not judge me, or even just, yeah, make my mind come back to sanity. The rest are acquaintances. Sorry to say that, but it's the truth. Close friends that you hold dear cannot be more than 5. And situations is happen. You might even have that close knit friendship, and you find them, they're the ones who are stabbing you in the back. It happens sometimes. It's not like I said, we are not perfect. We experience life as it moves on, and it's crazy as it is, and gets worse sometimes. So don't put, lesson of the day, don't put a lot of pressure for you. I didn't even say disclaimer in the beginning. For this is for entertainment purposes only. I am not in charge for what you think, how you interpret it. That's on you. And I expect that for me too. And I end on that note. Other than that, I'm loving my short hair. My head feels lighter somehow, but I look like a boy. Anyway, bye bye.